Blue Sky, that's where I'm at. Alright, nope. Alright, I'm just sitting in here because I don't want to deal with my computer deciding to have a seizure when I try to switch games. Um, so yeah, I just am opting to be ready for when Bob gets here in about half an hour. And Mastodon. Hey, Frary. I'm doing pretty good. Waiting on Bob. It was Amy's birthday recently, so they went out to lunch. So we're just waiting on him to get back. I just didn't want to deal with um, trying to fix everything, trying to get everything switched from another game when uh, when Bob did get back. Because we all know how much of a pain in the butt that can be. So, I was going to sit and wait for Bob to get here. Should be about another half hour or so. Um, I'll try to be engaging and talkative, but we all know how good I am at that. Just to show off a little bit of what I'll be working on stream while we wait is my last few Star Wars Legion minis. You can see here. I've got some Mandalorians to work on, 6, and once I paint these 6, all my Star Wars Legion minis will be painted. And then I've got my Age of Sigmar army lined up in a box, waiting for a good day to go do those. So, how's everyone doing today? It was a pretty nice day at work for me today because we not bad. Just put myself in darkness. Come on. Ugh. Darkness does sound pretty good. Sorry to hear about your headache, though. So besides Power Wash Simulator, which we discovered last week, you seems like you practically speed ran the story. What else have you been gaming on, Frary? I use the phrase speed ran very lightly and affectionately, considering I think you're at 85 hours or some jazz like that. You ever heard of the Heart of the Machine? Game about being a rogue AI with lots of freedom to act how you want. No, but that sounds really cool. Been watching a playthrough and having lots of fun. Oh, nice. I'll have to put it on my wish list. It reminds me of a social deduction game Bob and I played at PAX Unplugged one year, where uh, one player at the table is the ship's captain, one player at the table is a helpful AI, and the rest of the players at the table are all rogue AIs trying to get the captain to basically purge the helpful AI. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting spin on the hidden, like the whole hidden roles social deduction game of find. Well, I guess you're still trying to find the one who's against you. The rest of you, it's just putting your rest of the group in the evil seat rather than the good seat. You know. Hi. Um, though my favorite social deduction game that I have, I don't remember where I demoed it, but I could have sworn I demoed it first. You know what, I might have just picked it up on a discount shelf at the store because it seemed like a cool pickup. But it's called The Menace Among Us. And your ship's breaking. The idea is your ship's breaking down, and you're trying to fix it before everything goes to crap. Um, but it has um, two mechanics in it that I deeply, deeply enjoy when it comes to stuff like that. And the first one of those is the well then here let me ask you this: when you're playing a social deduction game, such as uh, Werewolf or Mafia or whatever, what's one of the worst parts to you? What's like the worst part of that game to you? Besides having people to play with, because I understand not all, everyone has groups of friends they can rely on to play these games. Lord knows I'm now one of them. Never really played a game like that. Oh, okay. Um, I find the worst part of you know about them and heard people play them. I find one of the worst parts of playing a social deduction game is the blame game. So typically, what happens is there's a mission or a murder or uh, something of that sort. Um, I'm going to use. Shoot, what is the name of that game? Why am I blanking on the name of this game? Resistance. That's the name of the game. Resistance. Um, so in Resistance, uh, the idea is that most of the people at the table are in the eponymous resistance, and they are going on missions to, resist, be rebels. And one person sort of rotates around the table, but one player is the coordinator, and they'll choose a certain number of players depending on which stage of the game you're at. There's a board and everything in it. To how many players are going to go on the mission. And then those players each get a pair of cards, one that says pass, one that says fail. And if any fails come up during the mission, the whole mission fails. Uh, so, and you can only fail a certain number of missions before everyone in the resistance loses. But then what comes out is after the mission goes off, people then have a discussion. There's a discussion period where people are like, "Oh, I think so and so is secretly part of the government, and they're trying to throw us off." Um, these kinds of actions. And when I tell you they can take a long time and they can get heated, please take my word for it. I have played games where it has gone wild trying to do that part. Um, Now, the thing that Menace Among Us does is they have a little cardboard blaster pistol in the box. And at any point during the discussion phase, a player can pick up the blaster and declare the discussion phase over. It's time to vote. So that's one thing I really like about it, is that if the discussion phase starts to drag too long, and people are starting to like get angry at each other about it, you can sort of be like, "Nope, time to vote." The other cool thing that the um, game does is uh, typically in these games, when you get voted out or voted off, um, you're basically done. You're an observer at that point. Um, in Menace Among Us, unless something happens where somehow your character dies, it's kind of a difficult thing to do to force death on a character. Um, when the vote happens and you're exposed, you don't have to reveal whether or not you're loyal, a faithful, or a traitor. When you're exposed, so don't think you do. Um, you might. I think you only have to expose if you die. Um, but the idea is you get exiled to the below decks of the ship. Um, so while you can't use super cool special effect cards or use whatever power, so this is a game that introduces abilities and powers to the characters and the roles of the secret identity game. Which I think the Resistance has an expansion that introduces that kind of stuff. Several of these games have that kind of thing that allow you to glean some extra information out of things, twist the fates to allow something more fortuitous or less fortuitous to happen. Um, so that's what Menace Among Us has. Uh, but when you get exiled, the only change is you don't get to uh, you don't get to use your special abilities or special or like the specialty cards. You only get the repair or sabotage cards basically to use. And that's the thing. Every player plays every round. There is no sort of oh you're. We figured out that Jordan is the traitor, so we're going to just not include him on anything anymore, so that he doesn't have a chance to fail us. Um, every player plays every turn, and doesn't. So everyone gets to play. Everyone gets a chance to participate for the whole game. Again, unless you die, and again, very difficult to cause someone to die. Where was I with this description? Oh yeah. So you get exiled to the below decks when you when you do, all you can do is play your basic repair and sabotage cards. You don't get to play the specialty cards, but you're still, like I said, you're still being an active participant. Well, maybe not so much of an active participant, but you're still being a participant in the activity. You're not just dead and gone and done because you've been eliminated, you've been voted out off the island. Um, well, I especially like it because if I play with like a big group of people, um, everyone's got that one friend that in a board game group that just automatically gets targeted in those kinds of games. Um, I know that because I tend to be that friend that gets targeted pretty hardcore in those kinds of games. So I like the you're out, but you're still yeah you're out. You're just mostly out. Not quite dead, just mostly dead. Um, yeah, I had a Facebook memory pop up today about The Princess Bride and how it's a near perfect movie. It has action, it has comedy, it has pirates, it has romance. It has a very famous wrestler as a star. You know, what's there not to love about The Princess Bride? That's true too. It's also good when the cast enjoyed being in each other's company. Um, but yeah, when it comes to party games, I think The Menace Among Us has definitely sort of taken top spot for me for party games. Um, I think just one makes a fun little party game. It's for much smaller parties for sure. It's only really only supports up to 7 or 8 players. But what's really cool about that one is you're trying to get uh, the guesser to guess uh, one of the secret words on a card that they can't see. And the way you kind of go about doing that is you write a one word clue on a dry erase board. Well, they provide dry erase boards. I guess you could use like pieces of paper or whatever if you didn't have a dry erase board. If you didn't have the little dry erase boards. But they provide really nice dry erase boards as part of the game. So everyone writes a one word clue on their board, and then the player has to kind of guess based on that. However, this is where it gets tricky and fun. If two people write the same clue down for their clue, so like if we're doing chocolate and I write down uh, something like dark, and then Bob writes down dark. We both have to erase our board. and you don't get that, the guesser doesn't get that clue to try to guess. So that's a fun little. That's a fun. That's a fun little sort of get together game. I've been real big lately into pocket game, like tracking down like fun little pocket games, and oh, it sounds like a game you played over the Florida trip. Do tell. Ah, Hughes and Q's. I love me some Hughes and Q's. I wish I owned it, but then again, I don't have enough people to don't have enough people to play it with. Yeah, let me pull up the board and see if the board for Hughes and Q's and see if it rings a bell. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy Hughes and Q's. Um, Especially when uh, you start to see how people can perceive colors differently. Cards on the board aren't exactly the same. What? mobile game called I Love Hugh. I mean, I guess that's fair. Um, that's a game I really like the scoring mechanic on. Uh, because you get 1 point for being basically when you're done guessing, the person who the clue giver puts a little square down on the board, um, with the color you were supposed to be trying to get in the center. And if you're the person on the center point, you get 3 points. If you're on any of the 8 squares inside the box, you get 2 points. And if you're on any of the squares touching the outside of the box, which is 18 squares? No, 16 squares. If you're on any of the 16 squares on the outside of the box, you get 1 point. And then the person who was the clue giver gets 1 point for every player inside the box, I think. Something like that. The clue giver gets points for giving good clues, um, which I think is an excellent way to make sure that everyone is scoring and having fun with the scoring, and you're not like, again, one person's not running away with the game, because then nobody's having fun if one person's just running away, picking everything up and running away with it. Um, though, if you are a viewer of our channel and you're not much of a board gamer, I do highly recommend Ticket to Ride as an introduction to sort of a more European style board game. Uh, it is probably one of the most basic non uh, most basic European games out there. I know. So for those of you who are viewers, you want a recommendation for a good board game to get into board gaming with, Ticket to Ride. Uh, I've introduced dozens of people to board gaming as a hobby through the use of Ticket to Ride. People who say, "Oh, I don't like board games. There's too many rules. There's too much to think about." Ticket to Ride strikes a great balance of sort of that familiar randomness, that familiarity that people are used to when it comes to playing a board game like that. The basic game takes place in the United States and Canada. Well, not really Canada, mostly just the United States. Um, so there's a lot of familiar terminology and places associated with that. And then it's really just sort of match the color as the rest of the game. There's a little complexity to it. But it's not so complex that, you know, you need several playthroughs to become a master of playing it. Oh, sweet. Bob will be here very shortly. Hopefully enough time to get him settled into the game before I've got a friend coming to pick up some minis he wants to borrow for a tournament. So I'm hoping Bob will get here before. Oh, I didn't paint the blasters on this person. We'll get here before the that happens, so that what's it called? I can at least get him into the game and rolling. Another great game, board game I love playing with people. is Disney Villainous. Which sort of, the idea is you take on the point of view of the villain of a Disney movie, and you sort of play out the story of the Disney movie prototypically. Not prototypically. In the very broad sense of the word, you play out the story of the movie, but from the villain's perspective. So you're recruiting mooks and so the thing I like about it most is that it is a completely asymmetric game. And this is where it's going to sound really weird to people. But for the most part, you're playing individually. And I like that because I have some very hyper competitive friends that I play with from time to time, and I have some very non-competitive friends I like playing with. And there are rules sort of baked into the game to help stymie the more competitive players. I don't want to say stymie. Stymie is not the right word. But there are rules baked into the game that help sort of balance out the game for the more competitive players and the less competitive players. If that makes a lick of sense. So the really the only interaction you have with the other players at the table is through what's called the Fate action, which allows you to reveal a card from the player's Fate deck, which is where all the heroes are and the heroic turns in the story happen from that deck. So if you're playing I don't know, Ursula from The Little Mermaid, it's where you're going to find Prince Eric and Sebastian and Ariel the Little Mermaid. Now there is a Marvel version and a Star Wars version of the game, which are a little more interactive with your opponents and doing stuff. And they're fun, don't get me wrong. But the Disney one is definitely my favorite because of I don't have to intentionally step on my friend's toes to try to win. I totally can if I wanted to. but my winning is not predicated on my stepping on my friend's toes. But Jordan, I hear you ask, if the only way to interact with your friends is through the use of this Fate deck, and the Fate deck is where the heroes are, what if I'm playing someone like Captain Hook, who needs to fight the hero of the story for his victory condition? I think Captain Hook has to fight Peter Pan. Don't hold me to that. To you, dear viewer, I would say, that's a great question. And surely a way to slow down your opponent who has the victory condition that requires them to find a specific hero from their deck, would be to not use the Fate action on that player. However, I will warn you that if the villain's victory condition is dependent on something from the Fate deck, they are going to have cards and abilities with them that allow them to go find these things. They are not going to be a hunt. If their victory is dependent on their
Hello there.
Hello there.
Should we wash with power?
We shall wash with power.
I am in game and waiting for an invite. I do want to say, at 4:52, Farry sent a message saying he told us the cards on the boards aren't exactly the same, but only described based on the card. I bet you were playing Hues and Qs.
Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can tone down Bob a little bit.
I cannot do anything about that. I'm sorry. I'm fully kind of turned down on my end.
Get Bob invited. There we go. That should be better.
Sorry, Farry.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cause you any harm. Alright. You can live there for now. Hello, King Gnome. Oh, I knocked over King Gnome. My bad.
I knocked over King Gnome, he says, walking straight into it. You knew exactly what you were doing.
I found the invisible wall. Also, I may have picked up a new toy.
Oh yeah. Oh, a multi-jet nozzle.
Ah,
I thought we had all the nozzles, or is this new?
this is new. I found it last week, just after you signed off.
Okay.
Because to save my sanity and ours, or both of our sanities, I did finish the outside after you left last week. Better than finding the Invisible Man. Yeah, that's true.
Dare I say this isn't good?
Yeah, it's not great.
How much did this cost us?
I don't know.
I think that just the yellow string's better. Maybe better for like precise stuff. But... It's cleaning the floor.
It's great for hard to reach things at a distance, Barry says. Barry, who's been so inspired by our playthrough, went and picked up the game on sale, and then I think has since beaten it.
Alright, floor's clean.
Nice.
Gonna work on the roof.
Usually use it when there's a bit of dirt in a corner. It's hard to get at. She is.
Ah. So what have you been up to this week?
Honestly, not a whole lot of much or anything.
Is that good or bad?
It's a middle of the road. A lot of work, obviously. Wednesday night, I did go out. Got convinced by some of the people at the friend local game shop. Gave BattleTech a whack.
Mm-hmm.
Did a little BattleTech Alpha Strike.
How'd you find it?
That was fun. Yeah.
Any interesting mechanics or?
Yeah, there. So it's got this really cool. I don't want to say cool. Cool is probably the wrong word to use for it. It's got a mechanic I wasn't really prepared for. Didn't get much of a chance to read too much rules before I went out. But one of the when you look at like the stat cards it tells you how many shots you get at what ranges, and that's how many like pairs of d6s you roll. It's not just so you're. It's a lot of high rolling dice. You want to make sure you have different colored dice so you don't mix and match too much. Oh, hang on. Text from Chris Miller. There are traces of odd luminous ore everywhere. I've never seen anything like it. Hang on, there's something else up here.
What?
I don't know. It's just the text message from Calvin.
Oh.
Look out! An aircraft just shot straight out of the volcano and it's heading your way. What? What?
Oh, he's lying to us.
I think so too. One sec, folks.
How's the roof going?
I return.
Welcome back. I didn't hear that you were stepping away.
Sorry.
I was asking questions. Not question, really. Simply. So how's the roof going?
The roof?
Yeah, I asked if you wanted to start on the roof, and you said okay. But if you're not working on the roof, that's fine too.
I was just puttering along. done.
Nice.
Cracking nice ice cold Budweiser.
In this case, it is a Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero.
Mm. One soda I was kind of skeptical about this summer, but
Mm-hmm.
I've developed quite a fondness for, is the Dirty Mountain Dew.
Is that the orange can?
Mm, no, it's probably a cream colored can. It's like a cream soda Mountain Dew blend.
Hmm. They had something that was similar to that, but it was in this orange can. I don't know if that's because it was zero sugar or not, but it was fine. A couple of my guild mates that live down here swear by it. I mean, if someone brought it to the cookout, I wouldn't kick them out. But
Right.
I don't get the whole dirty drink trend. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it started.
Yeah, I don't 100% know where it all came from either. Just know.
Like, I don't know what a dirty soda is. Like how do you make one? Just pick up a bunch of filth off the ground and throw it in your drink, or what? Filthy. Absolute. Looks like dirty sodas are just strange mixes using some soda. Yeah, but from what I hear, there's like an actual. You know how like I talk about. You'll hear me talk a lot about how like there's no such thing as air frying. They're just convection ovens with good PR or whatever, right?
Mm.
Like there's a specific way to make a dirty soda that makes it a dirty soda. I think you're going to use a certain. I think my friend was saying you got to put milk in it or something.
I think it's milk or creamer.
So it's a Mormon thing connected to the Mormons. Again, I don't know. Like these things have just sprung out of nowhere over the last like year or so
Yeah.
in the mainstream. And now they're fucking everywhere.
Which is wild that. Well, the quick Google search says that it's originated in Utah. I can't imagine it's Mormons because Mormons they're not supposed to drink soda anyway. Milk, water, juice. That's it. At least I thought you weren't supposed to drink So maybe it's just caffeine. No caffeine, no
Or is
alcohol.
it just like their version of coffee?
Huh, well, there you go. On the Wikipedia article. Replacement for coffee, tea, and alcohol. There we go.
They embrace sugar instead. Yeah.
I can't remember if it was something where I had heard or consumed this information, but like it's the same reason, sort of like crumble cookies are. Some of them are so cloyingly sweet, especially their base recipes, because they're a Mormon, Utah originated company too, if I recall.
No, I just think that's because they're trying to appeal to that cupcake crowd.
Mm.
I wouldn't call. Then again, making a sweet cookie isn't the weirdest thing anyone's ever done. You know what I mean? That's a juicy bit of black right in there. Up in there.
Yep. I've been contemplating how we're going to get to it.
You can just shoot from back here. If you use your whirly nozzle, you should be able to get it from here. Yeah, you can. They embrace sugar. Yeah. I was watching. For those of you who don't know, Jordan and I have a favourite chef among the many famous TV chefs. It is one Alton Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't know, he's been putting out food videos on YouTube recently. Alton Brown cooks food. He's been doing. They're very similar to Good Eats in that each episode is based on one thing, and he goes as in depth as he can in a 30-minute YouTube show, you know, and hearing him talk about all about how Dutch pressed cocoa got its name and things like that was absolutely fascinating. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Alton Brown Cooks Food, please do. Oh, we got another mural here,
Oh,
which seems to be the underground bathroom.
oh hey.
His recent video on side dishes. If you haven't watched it, really, really good recipe coleslaw for baked beans and potato salad. And since we are talking about internet chefs, I feel obliged to bring up the moment I nearly killed Jordan in our hotel room. We were at a convention, and we were with our friend Ashley.
Be right back.
With our friend Ashley, and it had been a long Saturday at a convention, and we all went, "Oh man, let's just go back to the hotel room and order dinner." Did ordered some really nice Indian food, and as we sat there, like waiting for it to arrive, we plugged. I think we plugged my laptop into the TV, and we were just watching stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And food arrived. We were doling out the food, and as Jordan went to take his first mouthful of curry,
Oh God, I forgot we'd gotten curry.
got an Indian food yet. As Jordan went to put on, like literally had his first mouthful of his food, I put on a YouTube video called Guy Fieri Eating to Hurt by Johnny Cash, which is just scenes of Guy Fieri, his over-the-top self eating food from diners, drive-ins, and dives, set to "Hurt" by Johnny Cash. Um, and as you can imagine, with things like "I hurt myself today, see if I can still feel," to Guy Fieri ramming a massive fucking hot dog in his mouth, covered in chili and
In slow motion,
in
and
slow
like
motion.
faded color. Like this is a edited masterpiece of a music video, not just
Um,
clips slammed together.
it was Jordan sort of started choking on his doll, which was quite funny,
Hmm.
and that video's held a special place in our hearts ever since.
That and what up, fuckers?
Yeah, what up, fuckers? You want to tell that story?
Uh, which was that a pack? Was that a
It was
PAX?
a PAX Unplugged.
PAX Unplugged. We were
It was the first PAX Unplugged, I think.
we wanted to do like Facebook posts of lives about what we did that day, um, but we didn't get back to our hotel until like midnight, 11:30 midnight,
Yeah.
and just dragging all the way through. It's like, oh, hang on, let's get this Facebook post up about it. So we pull up the live, we get the live going, and Bob is just sitting at the desk in the hotel, just sort of sideways, tapping his fingers on the desk, and I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, get ready to go, and just nonchalantly out of the side of his mouth, "What up, fuckers?" And I just fall backwards onto the bed, dying laughing, so out of it. Oh.
These murals seem to be all the fairground stuff.
Ooh, so it does. Carousel, the fortune teller's wagon, the slide, Ferris wheel, more carousel horses.
I will say that King Gnome is missing from the toilet on this side, and he's missing from this wall.
Hmm.
I'm fairly sure King Gnome was in all of the murals upstairs.
Alright. King Gnome. He's not in the mayor's house mural.
Okay.
And he's not in the one with the UFO and the pointing finger.
Okay. Okay.
Portly's a design temple.
number on that roof, bro.
Trying to. Oh, Bob, do you remember the name of that one social deduction game we played at PAX where we were the AIs and basically you were trying to get the helpful AI kicked off the ship so the rogue AIs could just kill everybody?
I don't remember the name of it, but I do remember playing it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can, because I think I wrote a social post about it.
Like the only game like I really remember the name of us playing is Hero Tales of the Tome. But that's because
Remember that? I remember Love Career Magic, which was like the weird management game with like goblins and shit.
oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember that one now.
What year was it? It was 2018, right?
I think so, yeah. Because I think that was also the year where like everyone and their mother was bringing out the mega games.
Yes, that was the one.
Like every time we turned a corner, someone was showing off some new game with like 400 minis included in it. And, like would require an entire two-bedroom apartment just to stash everything.
That was also the year that someone that they were really was it that was the year when we finally released because we played it the year before, didn't we?
I think so.
No, because it was because that was the second PAX Unplugged ever, right? That we went to. So that would have been 2016.
Oh damn. How have we been doing our shenanigans for over 10 years?
Yeah, I can't remember. If we figure out the year, I'll have a better chance of.
Oh, you know what? I wonder. If I go through our Facebook page.
Maybe. Year one was here. Our game was Heroes, right?
Yep.
And then 2 you were working with. I ended up going with Mansa. Right, what is this one?
Oh, hang on, I'll be right there to check it out.
UFO? Oh no, it's the plane. The biplane that we cleaned.
What is it? Oh, is that the little Piper Cub biplane thing?
Yeah.
Okay. What if more Defiance?
Yeah. What if more? The answer
So,
may never get the question.
2019. Oh, that's when we did the weird ghost board game.
That was when I earned my title as Pretty Pretty Princess.
That is indeed when you earned the title Pretty Pretty Princess.
So it would have been
Draftosaurus.
the year before that?
Yeah, so that would have been 2018 when we did that.
So it would have been 2017.
Well, according to our Facebook thing, 2019 is when we did
Pretty Pretty Princess. So it would have been 2018.
December 8th, 2019. Bob's indeed the prettiest princess. It's just stunning to think about how long the two of us have been doing our shenanigans together.
Yeah.
You know,
Mike and I were talking about that the other week. It's funny to think how many games that are like staples now
Hmm.
that we play tested at Unplugged. Like I remember playing like Roots and Star Realms and Keyforge and
God, Keyforge was
so
still
many
just in
others.
concept stage when we demoed that.
Yeah. And it was bad. It was bad. I don't stop looking. We're never finishing this.
That was a show. PAX Unplugged.
Man, I want to go back to PAX Unplugged so bad. The other big thing that's happened this week, I think you'll be quite proud of me. I've gotten back to cooking.
Nice.
I've helped in the way that Amy was doing a lot of the cooking. Slowly trying to figure out ways to take some of that burden off of her. Been able to do that a little bit this week. Helping out the stuff as well. This week has been Amy's birthday week. She's been home this week. Went out to Centerville today to celebrate with some friends to a really nice Italian joint. And then we're going out tomorrow with a bunch of friends that couldn't make it on Wednesday. Going down to National Harbour and we're going to Fogo de Chao. And I am going to become more than man. Um, I'm quite looking forward to. Got time book games workshop tomorrow for some painting. A nice little day, you know.
Sounds lovely.
Also looking to put some investment into some of the infrastructure and all. I'm currently doing research to get myself a really nice Dutch oven.
Nice.
I can do some braised lamb shanks and longer cooking pasta sauces on the stove top. I think that sounds fucking right up my alley. Bloody champions. Also, I speak about. Come on, Jordan. Who's working on the roof? What the fuck is this over here? What's this?
Oh, I didn't do the insides of these parts. No, I did the outer ceiling.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah. I was just giving you a stick, mate. I wasn't expecting you to actually do it. But yeah, another YouTube cookery channel that I've really taken to is it's a channel called That's What I Reckon. He's an Australian bloke who's just fucking weird, and I love him, and he swears a lot. And he's just got this really reinforcing way about him, you know, like talks about how what he does is anyone can do it, and it all started with him in the pandemic, where he talked about how all of the jar pasta sauce was selling out, and first video was just him showing how to make pasta sauce, and ended up saying fuck jar sauce. And it's kind of his whole thing. He doesn't like pre-packaged foods and pre-prepared stuffs, and I highly recommend checking him out. He's very entertaining as well. I find him quite funny.
It's always a plus with a food presenter when they can be entertaining.
Yeah. Like, he's not like a huge Nard Dog Cooks. Ooh. I will make it up that one. Does vegan stuff. But like actually tasty. Yeah, one of the reasons I started getting back into the cooking. My wife does these writers retreats once every couple of months, and I'd love to start going and start cooking. And I'm mostly vegetarian. um, I believe the term is pescatarian, so eat a bit of fish and she's okay with an occasional egg fried and put on a plate, you know, just like hidden binding egg. Sounds really nice. Mushroom bolognese.
Ooh, mushroom bolognese sounds really good.
Basically, like grind up mushrooms in a food processor to take the place of the meat.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually just like ground mushroom rather than ground beef. Ah, the family curse. Yes, meat makes you ill. Oh, this one's the Viking temple. That's what this was.
Ayo. But again,
Again,
yeah,
no
king, no. The pie shop I worked for, one of their pot pies, they do the cottage pie. Um, but they also do one they call the forager's pie, which is
Yep.
mushroom base instead of beef base.
Oh, speaking of which, did I ever tell you about when we went to the Hawk Griffin for the unintended prize night?
No.
Right, so a couple of weeks ago, the Games Workshop we go to is out in Fair Oaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my favourite restaurant in the world is a place called the Hawk Griffin. It's out in Fairfax. And it's an English pub, well, English pub restaurant thing. It's not a full-on pub, it's more of a restaurant than a pub. There's a really nice bar. We hadn't been in there in a while, so after we finished the Games Workshop, me and Amy said to the two people that we've been off 40 days stuff with, hey, go to the Hawk and Griffin. That sounds like a fucking fantastic idea. Really get our chops around some fish and chips. So we went there, and as we pulled up, this was about a month ago at this point, right? World Cup hadn't started yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine a English bar is very busy during the World Cup. So you pull up, and the parking lot is fucking heaving. Absolutely fucking heaving. Managed to drop me off, and I go in and get us a table. As I walk in, they're like, "Oh, here's your raffle tickets. It's our 5th anniversary tonight." We were like, "Wait, fucking what?" We had no idea it was their 5th anniversary. So they were doing a giveaway in about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who got a table got one raffle ticket and buy some more. Sorry, I didn't mean to finish that for you.
That's fine. I don't want to go get
Accidental. There's an accidental overspray. So we went in there, and they were like, the first prize is a 5th anniversary limited edition T-shirt. And I just turned around and watched me win the fucking T-shirt that will never fit me in a million years. Lo and behold, I won the fucking T-shirt. Next up, 4 tickets to go see Chicago and Styx in concert at Jiffy Lube Live.
Damn.
July 20th. Amy wins the fucking tickets. My wife. Right? Now bear in mind, they're having different people draw these, so there's no fixes or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the third prize they were giving away was a humongous can of Heinz baked beans, which was another table won. And then the fourth prize they were giving away was a massive bottle of gin. At which point, Sean, my friend, turns around and goes, "Now watch me, the teetotaler, win the gin I can never drink." And he did. So of the 4 prizes they were giving away, our table won 3 of them.
God damn.
And then So we've been going through. So as you can imagine, the t-shirt didn't fit me, so I made a joke out of. I walked out into the main room and held it up against myself, and it was like barely the size of my leg. And I was like, "What the fuck am I meant to do with this?" And got a big laugh out of it. But I ended up leaving the t-shirt behind for them to give away to someone else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like we get along with the management and the ownership there really well. So they were like, "Oh, we'll hook you up with some another time," right? So we decided to go in for dinner this last Saturday, right before the England game, and they had ploughman's lunches on the menu. Like, man, I really want me some pork pie. So I cashed in my favour for the t-shirt for them to give us 2 free ploughman's lunches to take home with us.
Nice.
Got all of the details for the tickets sorted. So we're going to go see Chicago on Styx on the 20th out at Jiffy Lube. What was this one? Oh, it's the tree house and the fairy tale house, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna bot that bot. Go around. So close to finishing this fucking thing. Uh, so you posted the last VOD of us doing this
Mm-hmm.
as will they finish 7-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know that you meant the 3rd of July, right? But my brain went, yes, this isn't the 7th part of the will they finish this trilogy. Right, this is the boat. The, the cats we're watching is clean, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
.99% clean.
But we haven't gotten the checklist.
No, and that's worrying.
Atrium ceiling wall. Atrium wall trims. The pyramid.
Primaton. Pyramidion gem. This thing on the top here. Alright, so there's the Pyramidion pedestal. Why do I have a feeling that the gem isn't going to appear until we've cleaned the wall? Alright, so it's this thing up here. Alright. Pyramidion thing. Ah!
Oh,
Gem has
God.
just appeared. That was not there when I was up here a minute ago.
Oh, the X-Men are doing flyboys.
Let's not stand in each other because I can't see. Ah. Yes, we still flybys? Where?
Oh, not anymore. But
All right, here we go. There's the UFO.
shooting down the X-Men.
And there's a beam shooting at the
Volcano.
Okay. Is that it?
Alright.
Job complete?
Job complete. The menace of watching this time lapse
Uh-huh.
is it doesn't show anything that's happening on the inside. It only shows the two faces from the
Yeah.
angle.
So I don't get to see the credits.
Oh, that's annoying.
So I'm watching them on the stream. Oh, it's all the thing. They're going to show all of our replays. I have been informed we need to sit through the credits. By the way. Hey, it was our first encounter with the Wangus.
Yep.
That's got to show you how much faff was in this game, doesn't it?
Yep.
That has nothing to do with the main plot. Oh yeah, the fucking cat car. Yes, Amy, I think we finally finished our work. Aww. Wait. Unsubscribe from Moss Facts. So the mayor's missing cat was in the back of our van the whole time.
Apparently.
All right, gang. Well, it's about time for us to finish up anyway.
Yep.
But let's have a look at what we've got in the specials here. I mean, the three things that really made us want to play this, I think, was 40k Back to the Future and Midgar, right?
Yeah. Sure, specials. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question to pose to everyone is: once we've played through the three of those, is the next step Power Wash Simulator 2? Or is it get the fuck away from water, you stupid assholes, and please, God,
Find
play
something.
something else? Because if you want us to play Power Wash Simulator 2, we absolutely will.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is just a dumb, fun time. But given how little time we get to play, it will take us forever to actually finish it. But we're more likely to finish that than if we were to, say, go back to Final Fantasy 14.
So we'll let you, the viewers, mull on that, and let the people who watch us on YouTube hear that question. Because we do have a couple more weeks worth of play. Because
But do get on our socials and voice your opinions.
yep,
Um, we probably won't do all of the content in Power Wash Simulator. I'll be honest with you, because I do need to get out of this specific version of Power Wash Simulator at some time. It is starting to kill me. I'm fairly sure. Um, but the thing is, if you want us to do the things like Midgar, Final Fantasy 40K, and Back to the Future, I need to buy them. I think, unless Jordan can get me in on them.
well, let's find out real quick.
Yeah.
The Omnisci is anchored.
We, it's just, I need a change of pace, Farry. I just, we might come back to it, but I just need a change of something. One, so Jordan invite me to play. The fact that you can invite me to play is promising. I'm sorry. Does our washer look? No, I do not own the 40K, so I cannot join the session.
Oh, it's a shame.
So if we do want to do those, I will have to buy those, which I happily will. At least those three. Yeah. Then when we're done with that, I think it's time for just a change of scenery for a bit. I think, and then let us know if you want us to come back and do like Power Wash Simulator 2 while the storyline's still fresh in our minds.
But yes, our washer does look like holy. The
Like a
footstool. The footstool is a little servitor crab. Oh my god.
all right.
All right.
Let us continue our closing out.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. We finally finished the primary storyline to Power Wash Simulator. Huzzah! Make sure you follow us here to see whenever we go live, but follow us on any of the 4 major micro-blogging platforms. There we go. Where we post every time we go live. Twitter, we are 321 Podcast. Blue Sky, we are 321tv.bsky.social. Threads, we are at 321_tv.live. And Mastodon on the mastodon.social server. We are at 321 underscore TV. Uh, check out ye old YouTube, where we post. Jordan tries to remember to make sure he stays on top of posting streams for you to go watch us after the fact. bit.ly/321 underscore capital Y capital T. Our merch shop, 321-tv-shop.fourthwall.com. Some apparel there, great extensive lines of drinkware for you to stay hydrated while you're gaming and doing whatever it is you do, including our procrastinator line, Screw Past Me and Tomorrow Me Can Suck It, and in collaboration with our friend Tiny Tim, the iced tea line, 16th of December 1773, we threw the tea into the sea and invented iced tea. If we went through those links too fast for you and you didn't get a chance to write them all down, don't worry, we do have a link tree, linktr.ee/321 underscore TV, where you can find links to everything about us, including get back here onto our Twitch page and onto our YouTube page, and also things that are important to Bob and I, including side projects and charities that are important to us. Right. We send you off into the wide blue yonder unless Bob has a target for us.
Let me check. No, don't think I do. Just SGDQ is on if anyone's interested in some speed running. It would appear that Zeppler is playing through the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Ooh, interesting.
If you want to check over there. Those would be the two that I may toward.
So we'll send you off into the yonder, as we are wont to do in these days, as we always do. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all those beyond that spectrum. In the words of the 16th President of these here United States, Abraham Lincoln, please be excellent to each other. Party on non-gender-specific honorifics, and we will see you
Next time.
Peace.
Peace.